this video was about suicide. When I'm sad, I like to teach people stuff, and since so many of you love my eyeshadow, I thought that I'll show you how, and I'll talk along the way. About 20 years ago now, my mom went into the hospital for exploratory surgery. My mom was having severe stomach and pelvis pain, which was pretty scary because my mom had half her uterus taken out in the 80s because of a tumor. They found out that her appendix was actually about to burst, so they had to remove it right away. Unfortunately, when they were trying to remove it, they accidentally punctured it and it was full of cancer cells. My mom died 2 years later of stomach cancer. I never said this before, but I am terrified of surgery. I'm terrified of what they could find, of what they don't find. I'm terrified of not waking up. I am terrified of dying and leaving my spouse behind. I know a lot of this is irrational, and I'll probably get over it in time, but this is a decision that I get to make over my own body and should not be rushed because of pressure from people I don't even know online. And what makes this worse, Jen, is that you are a parent of a trans man. In the comment section, you're essentially saying that your son did transition the right way by doing HRT and surgery and etc. And it got me wondering, if your son did not pass to your standards, would you be disappointed in him? 40 years ago in the trans community, if you did not pass, you were called a brick. Now, I like to reclaim that term because I think it's funny to be the trans handyman and be a brick. 40 years ago, if you could not pass, you did not survive. You could not find housing, you could not find jobs. It was tough. And 40 years ago, medically transition was hard to have access to. It was so expensive. You had to know a guy who knew a guy who had a guy. It was tough. And the thing is, those people back then, they weren't less trans people because they didn't have the medical care. You would be shaming the people who are the reason why your son gets to have the medical care that he wants. Those bricks lay the foundation for your house. Jenny, you look at me as someone who's taking away from the trans experience, but in reality, all I'm doing is uplifting it. I'm showing the world that you don't have to pass in order to be a successful person. I'm a #1 New York Times bestselling author. I have a house, I have a spouse, I have a family. I have all those things, and someone 40 years ago who was classified as a brick couldn't even fathom that. And here's the big kicker, Jenny. There are thousands upon thousands of trans people who can access gender-affirming care because of this fucking brick. Over the last 3 years, I've helped raise $4.5 million for gender-affirming care on Trans Day of Visibility, and this year we're doing it again and we're going for $1 million. My journey may be messier than others, but I still get to my destination, and I love the ride that I'm on. And I do not worry about how you perceive me. Yeah, sometimes it hurts, but at the end of the day, that's who I am. I am happy that I am the target that you focus on. I am happy that at the end of the day, I am the person that you try to hurt because I'm indestructible. I'm a fucking brick. Have a good day. Mercury Stardust.